Fortnite. With millions of players from around the world, it's more than just a game. It's become a cultural landmark, not only launching streamers' careers, but bringing huge celebrities into the live streaming space as well. And yet, for all its success, I still can't help but wonder what could have been. Fortnite has established itself in the competitive scene, with events like the 2019 World Cup cementing its place in esports. But today, I'm going to have a look at the history of Fortnite and where it's made its decision to take a path towards casual play. And you're probably asking, who the hell is this guy with all his ludicrous opinions? Well, back in the day, according to these stat tracking websites, I was in the top 2,500 players of Fortnite. And well, this video has been living rent-free in my head for too many years. I just don't know anymore. Maybe this will end the madness. Which gives me a segue into today's sponsor. That would be me. I'm Positively Hazo, a lifelong gamer. Just want to start with a big thank you for everyone who subscribed and come back to watch this video. I've also got content on TikTok and I live stream on Twitch TV. The support is greatly appreciated and it inspires me to keep making content such as this. So if I leave you wanting more, you know what to do. Hello, Hazo's editor here. I'm just popping in to apologize for the lack of camera focus in this video. I done goofed. I don't really have a better excuse. I just got bored of trying to deal with it. So let's get into it, and to start we need to go all the way back to the beginning. I remember the anticipation after seeing a trailer for a new base-building cooperative horde survival game. And yes, Fortnite's original trailer came out over 13 years ago. And I'll be honest now, to this day, I've still never played Save the World mode. In those years between 2011 and 2017, I didn't really hear much about Fortnite. I was playing games like Minecraft, Team Fortress 2, Overwatch when that came out. And that doesn't sound very competitive of me, but I spent thousands of hours of my teenage years in Team Fortress 2 playing in the community-made competitive scene. And then suddenly, Fortnite and Battle Royale took the gaming space, no, the world, by storm. So I picked up Fortnite in its pre-season, before Season 1 had come out. And the game was still finding its feet, establishing what kind of game it was going to be, what direction were the devs going to take it. Over those first 2 years, Fortnite saw massive expansion, not only as a live service game with battle passes and this live map system, but also with major balancing changes and new mechanics being added all the time. So finally, let's get to the focus of this video. When did I lose my faith in Fortnite? I have vivid memories of a feeling that the dev team may be having some kind of conflict, or at least doing some subtle testing to gauge their audience. Were gamers looking for a competitive experience or a casual one? So the first topic is bloom, the accuracy of your weapons. Bloom is your cone of fire, the size of your crosshair. Like most shooter players expect, the more you fire, the larger the bloom, the less accuracy you have. But in the pre-season of Fortnite, every weapon had bloom, from the go. There was no first shot accuracy. Everything was a dice roll. What this achieves is a lowered skill ceiling, balancing the playing field between the high skill players and low skill players. If you could aim, you were down to a dice roll. If you couldn't aim, you could get lucky with a dice roll. With any weapon other than the sniper rifle, your shots would just land anywhere within the middle 10% of your screen. Within the first season, we saw 2 consecutive updates increasing weapon accuracy. Not soon after, the introduction of first shot accuracy. This has been tweaked over the years, and I have to say I'm quite impressed with the setup. The level of accuracy is now balanced on rarities, so that means high skill players need to find a rare weapon to take full advantage of their skills. It keeps those players happy, but also maintains a balanced skill gap between players. And yet still, none of that is what had me grumpy. There was a fun array of utility items being added to the game. We had the boogie bomb and the impulse grenade, which gave players a creative way to counter the building strategy. No, there was one single factor that I just could not agree with. The health that construction would spawn at. To establish the idea of balanced gameplay, I'm weighing up a few factors. This is the skill, the resources, and the result. A huge part of Battle Royale is the looting. The game is designed about starting with nothing. You have to acquire your resources and you're limited to how much you can carry. Then there's the player skill, the dexterity with their inputs, the strategy behind their gameplay, how they are best utilizing their limited resources. It's simply looking at how much resources used and how complex the strategies are. My simplified way of looking at it is, if they're using more resources and taking higher risks with complex strategies, then they should come out on top. The more resource-heavy and high-skill players should come out of an engagement at an advantage. So in the case of Fortnite, we have resources being materials, ammunition, weapon rarity, how much equipment you can have on your hotbar. Skill is the technicality and inputs they make. Now, let's take a look at a clip from my Twitch channel over 7 years ago, where the light bulb came on.
Wall. Puts a flat piece down. Instantly.
That flat piece is weird.
Yeah. The fact that it's placed there is weird, and the fact that my shotgun can't go in one shot within 0.25 of a second.
So what am I blabbling about here? Let's look at the skill and resources used by both sides of this engagement. So you have one player building. They use 10 wood, which is maybe 1% of their backpack of resources, probably less if you count the bricks and metal too. And they get a shield in front of them, a wall of health. All they did was click once. And they're free to keep building. They can put down as many as they want as fast as they like. And their resources are pretty piled up. They can do that 200 more times. And then on the other side, you have a player with a shotgun. They have to find the loot. They have to find the ammo, which is harder to come across than materials. Maybe even get a rare weapon, something really hard to come across. There's a rate of fire to worry about, so they can't rapidly click. And taking that shot uses 15% of their clip, which then pushes them one step closer to needing to reload. So looking at resource, the person with the shotgun is investing way more resources, taking a much bigger risk to get involved with this engagement. And don't forget, stockpiling materials in your backpack doesn't take up your inventory slot, where a shotgun does. Yeah, you can argue that ammo doesn't take up a slot just like materials don't take up a slot, but you still need a gun to fire the ammo. You don't need a blueprint on your hotbar to build something, nor do you have to find it. And then there's the skill. Both players just click the mouse button. Arguably, the shooter was also having to aim correctly, whereas the wall just snaps on a grid to the floor. Even having the rarest shotgun, it does not do enough damage to destroy that wall in one shot. So two players make the same input, but the person risking more resource can't overpower the lower skill play. I feel in a situation like that, it should return to at least an even playing field. If both players just click at about the same time, just reset. And really the person investing more resource should come out at advantage, but at least even the playing field. I'm still feeling it. I'm still feeling the trigger. And then you could argue that they've got a blueprint out. There's no gun ready. They have to swap weapon. Do you remember double pumping? I remember double pumping. The time to swap weapon was not a problem. And then a patch that should have gone down in history, and maybe today I'm going to make it. Mark your calendars. July 25th, 2018. This is during Season 5 of Fortnite, patch 5.1. It was quite a large patch, lots going on, but a little bit they snuck in is the reduction of health on construction. Not only the max health, but also the starting health. And that's what made my year. They'd fixed it. They'd balanced it out. Your low-tier weapons weren't enough to one-shot a wall, but if you got a rare one, it was enough to even that playing field. If someone makes one input to put a wall down, and you make one input to fire a bullet, the playing field resets. That lasted about 10 days. That's right, the very next patch, 10 days later, reverted the changes. I wasn't even bothered about nerfing the maximum HP of construction. Sure, I felt it was a genuine strategy to invest in constructing your defenses. It just didn't feel balanced to place a blockade in front of you, and being able to do it faster than you can fire a shotgun that can't even one-shot the wall. And this is the point where I saw Epic Games make their decision. Fortnite had established itself as an accessible, fun, casual game. And you can't blame them. It was the right call. And yes, the grandfather of the shooter genre, arena shooters, Quake 3 Arena, this is where it all started. But there's no RNG. All of the resources are on a timer. All the weapons are pinpoint accurate. Everything is down to player skill. But what this creates is a massive skill gap. And especially without matchmaking, the high skill players would just dominate every lobby, and there was just no time to even practice and catch up. We've seen many developers trying to revive this kind of genre, and they all just fall through. But you can understand when the time you have to invest just to be able to stay alive against these monstrous gamers, people just don't have the time for that. You know, the younger generations are just getting their hands on a controller, and the parents just want to relax with what little time they have spare. And giving players a chance to earn that dopamine, even with a little, no, a hefty chunk of luck behind them. And now we see the popularity of the no-build game mode. I know many friends that return to have a crack at no build, myself included, and it just goes to show the huge divide in player base. I don't know a single person that enjoyed the building, and they all came back for no build. I don't know a single person that enjoys coming across Super Saiyan Bob the Builder. And again, I don't believe the mechanic of building was the problem. I feel it was the implementation. And us returning for no build, it was a nice nostalgia trip to relive what I feel was the height of Fortnite, even if statistically speaking, it wasn't. Just this week, Fortnite hit its highest peak of concurrent players at 14 million. I still found something else to get frustrated about. There was new items such as the Nimbus Cloud and the Shockwave Hammer, which just provided an insane amount of maneuverability to players, becoming very hard to hit and having an easy escape from any situation that goes bad. Once again, a high reward when very little resource and very little risk is taken. But that's a rant for another video. Well, do I feel better now? I don't really know.